Welcome, 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 welcome. Listen, it's Friday, so this is what I want. I want everybody that's on this webinar to please jump in our chats. We are streaming live from Facebook. We are also on Zoom, and I would love for you to tell us exactly where you are dialing in from. We are streaming from multiple parts of the world, different countries. And so I'm so happy to be here with you on this evening. If you have not yet done so, I want you to kick back. I want you to relax. I want you to grab your favorite beverage of choice, which happens to be water for me. Okay, it might be tea or coffee for you. And again, tell us where you are dialing in from. So I'll be checking in from Facebook. I'm also on our Zoom here. Let me jump into our chat and let me see. Okay, so we have Texas in the building. We have Jamaica in the building. Australia's in the building. Bloomfield, New Jersey, Jamaica, New York City is in the building. Columbia, South Carolina. Another part of Texas, amazing. Let me go on Facebook. Let's see where our friends are dialing in from. Naples, Dallas, Texas, the Bronx, New York City, Chicago, Australia. Again, good stuff, good stuff. So please continue to tell us where you are dialing in from. I just want to start off by saying that my name is Tarah Davies, and I am super happy to be hosting this evening. Now, I want to tell you how important you are and how special you are because someone invited you to a Zoom on a Friday night, either at 8 p.m. if you are on Central Standard Time, or I'm on Eastern Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. You might be somewhere else in the world, a part of the world where it's the morning time. The point is that somebody invited you on a Friday to take a look at information that's important to them, and you showed up. And I just want to say that that says a lot about you. It tells me that you are open, you are receptive, and increase is something that you might be, ready for. And so I am not going to be too long. I just want to tell you that I am very happy and I'm very honored to be able to introduce someone to you who is going to come on in just a few. Here's what I want to say. Growing up in my personal childhood, I was not always connected to people who were at a very high level of success where they were obtaining 7 figures. Now, many of us are familiar with 6 figures, but when we talk about 7 figures, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars. And so I just want to say this tonight, I have the honor. I have the absolute honor and I have the privilege to bring to you someone who was very near and dear to my heart. I didn't realize the value of having a mentor until I became an adult and I had a crossroad where I was looking for my next thing, my next level opportunity. And then I was introduced to this amazing individual. And I can tell you that from the time that I met him almost 8 years ago, my life has significantly changed. And so I just want to tell you this, okay? He is connected to some very powerful people. Are you familiar with Les Brown? Are you familiar with Mr. T.D. Jakes? Are you familiar with Oprah Winfrey? Are you familiar with some of the greats? This man is connected to these people, okay? Also, he is a best-selling author. Now, I just want to tell you that he was already a best-selling author and he is in a pre-launch of a brand new book and he has been in the top 3, okay, for the last 3 weeks. So what I'm saying to you guys is this is someone where I don't know if you'll have access, again in the future. This is what I want to tell you guys. When you have access to someone that's so great, someone who has enough value to pour into thousands upon thousands of people, I just want to say that the goal here is to pay attention. Now, family man, been married for about 23 years. And, he's been able to help create other millionaires as well. And so I just want to say that it is my honor. It is my privilege to be connected to someone so powerful. And I'm going to introduce you to someone very important to me, but I need you to give us your undivided attention. Promise you will not embarrass me. He's a big deal. All right. And so without further ado, Johnny, are you ready? Are you here? Because I'm ready for increase.
I am here. I am super excited. I appreciate that incredible introduction. Tarah Davies, this is very special to me because Tarah and I have done business around the world together for at least the last 10 years. Revenue, together hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm just extraordinarily excited to be a part of your life. And I'm just honored that you're a part of my life. Stick around. You're going to hear from her a little bit more in just a minute. Let's get this party started. Thank you again, Tarah. I'm going to share my screen and we are off to business. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Johnny Wimbrey, and I have the honor and pleasure of doing the first part of this presentation, co-starred with my good friend, Tarah Davies. Stick around, you'll hear more from her. She has an incredible dynamic story. You do not want to miss out on that. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Johnny Wimbrey. and I'm going to bring to you this presentation. The individual who invited you to be here, they invited you here for a reason. They're excited about what they are a part of, and you're looking at it right in front of you right now. Our company, our brand, our logo, iBuumerang. Now, I want you to think about something for a second. What does that mean when someone says boomerang? Typically, when you talk about boomerang, you're talking about something you throw out with the hopes that it comes back to you in some shape, form, or fashion. Now, I've been able to do seminars and training on the concept of entrepreneurialism around the world, and that is without exaggeration. Even I have toured Australia many times with some of the greatest names and speakers that are out there living today. Never did I think to myself that I would be a part of something that would echo the name boomerang. But you're going to understand the concept at a whole nother level as we progress. And I want you to think about something. How many times have you picked up your phone? You open up an app, you hit a button, and you order something that's delivered to your house. Not only that, you hit a button in a car, a stranger in a vehicle, and a strange vehicle pulls up and they take you safely to your destination. And you feel good about it. So good about it that you brag about it. You tell your family members and friends about it. They download the app. They start sharing their experiences. Same thing with groceries. Same thing with food. Same thing with social media. And now I want you to ask yourself, when you share those platforms with your family members and friends, what boomerang effect is in place for you? Does it come back to you in the form of financial gain? Or maybe it just makes you feel good? Why do we share Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, so many social platforms? Because it's in our hand. And we love to brag about it. We love the experience because of how it makes us feel. But it makes us feel a certain way, but that never hits our bank account. That's what I want to talk to you about. I want to introduce you to the boomerang effect. I want to introduce you to a concept that is absolutely sweeping the world by storm. And before we talk about money, I have to do a disclaimer. iBuumerang cannot and will not make any guarantees about your ability to get results or earn money with our program, information, tools, or strategies. Now, as you continue to read, I'm going to do a little sidebar. I know most of us, I know Tara, myself, we're a member of a local gym where we go work out and we go exercise. Now, a lot of times, if you don't live in a luxury high-rise building like Tara, we have to pay a monthly fee, like normal people who live in the normal world, not like Tara. Tara lives in a fancy world. But most of us and our families, we pay a monthly fee to be a part of a local gym, right? Did you know that your local gym has a disclaimer statement? And it says, when you join this gym, you have access to everything in the facility. The elliptical, the treadmill, the weights, the tennis court, the basketball court, the track, the swimming pool, the sauna, whatever it is. You have access because you're faithfully paying your monthly dues. But they also have a disclaimer that says we can't guarantee your results. Just because you are a member of a gym and you faithfully pay a monthly fee doesn't mean you're going to show up. So they cannot take the responsibility of guaranteeing anything other than the fact that you have access. And the exact same thing exists in iBuumerang. Everything that you are about to see, you have access to when you become an ambassador. And some of you who become a free customer, there are many opportunities that you're going to have access to using our products and services. And even with that, we can't guarantee it, just like your gym can't guarantee it. I have 3 questions I want to ask you. Is it time for you to take control? Now, here's the cool thing about that question. You decide the definition of what control is, not me. See, I wanted to take control of my children's education, the quality of their education. I wanted to take control of the neighborhood that my wife goes shopping for grocery store, even myself and my daughters and my children. I wanted to create the atmosphere of how safe of an environment that I wanted my family to be raised in. So I worked my butt off to take control of that. What do you want to take control of? What could you have more control of? Maybe it's time. Time is very valuable to me. Being able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, as much as I want to do it, traveling when I want to travel. I don't ask anybody permission to do anything other than my wife. Why? I designed that life on purpose. When I was 25 years old, I was introduced to the home-based business arena with 100% of the mindset of taking control of my life. The second question is it time for you to earn more money? Now, I'm about to say something and I'm not being disrespectful. I know that we are on multiple platforms right now around the world. I know that this presentation is being translated in different languages around the world, but I don't care what language you speak. If you say no to that question, I would disconnect from this presentation if I were you. This is your Friday. It's my Friday. If you're in Australia, it's your Saturday morning. Do not stay on this presentation if you can't say you want to earn more money. Now I'm a multi-millionaire and I've created and helped people become millionaires. And that's not important, but what's important is every single self-made millionaire that I know of would say yes to that question. So hopefully you will too. Is it time for you to start a home-based business? Now, like Tarah said, I have shared the stage with some of the greatest names out there in the world. I am a #1 best-selling author right now on Amazon, and I was a best-selling author before the book that's available right now. And the name of the book is actually Building a Millionaire Mindset. I am more excited about what you are about to see than I am my own book. Why? Because this is part of me building that legacy in the vehicle that I chose to build it within. I teach home-based business concepts around the world, and I've done this for over 20 years. So if you don't have a home-based business, even if you don't decide to join iBuumerang, I highly, from an expert level, I highly advise you to start a home-based business for tax reasons, as well as creating an atmosphere where you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, but make sure it's something that you're passionate about. Why am I passionate about iBuumerang? Well, it's very simple in our mission statement. Our mission is to provide an opportunity to succeed without selling by offering a 5-star lifestyle at 3-star prices, and we trademark that. Now, there's 3 words on this screen that stick out to me, and I want you to understand these 3 words puts us in a league of our own. Succeed without selling. Now, I've heard many companies say that was their goal. Not one of them have been able to deliver it until now. Succeed without selling. How is that possible? Well, how does Amazon succeed? They don't have salespeople. Nobody calls you to remind you to order anything. Instagram, Facebook. For the most majority of the world, there's no salespeople involved. So how are these entities, the greatest entities in the entire world when it comes to platforms and social media and technology, without having salespeople? How is that possible? Because we do the work for them. You didn't sell Instagram, you shared it. You didn't sell people to join Facebook, you shared it. You shared your experiences. So we created the world's youngest billionaire for free. His name is Mark Zuckerberg at the time. But the question is why? And how much longer do you want to have the problem of volunteering to create billionaires with no boomerang effect? Do I have your attention? Ladies and gentlemen, what we want to do in this particular screen, I really want to slow down and I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. We want to take you from the dinosaur age of building home-based businesses. And no offense, but you got to understand, the industry of home-based businesses have existed under the umbrella of network marketing for 90 years, almost 100 years. And here's how it started. And some of you are going to laugh when you see this. If you have been alive as an adult for more than 10 years, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Your family member or your friend or your neighbor or someone goes off to college or university. And then they figure out that they want to make part-time income while they're in university. So they go see these opportunities that are available for them. And here's how it started 90 years ago. Hey, family member or friend, if you use my plastic container to preserve your food, it will last longer and it will be more fresh. Hey, family member or friend, if you use my toothpaste instead of your toothpaste, you'll be healthier. Hey, family member or friend, I need to do 2 presentations today. And if I don't do 2 presentations today, I'm going to lose my job. Can I come over and show you my pots and pans, my knife set, my vacuum, my toothpaste, whatever it is? And a family member or friend says, of course, I don't want you to lose your job. Come on over and do your presentation. And then what happens? They come over and they do the presentation. And then the family member looks at them and says, you did a great job. You're going to be very, very good at this. That's what we tell them. And then we say, but I don't really have a use for a $2,000 set of knives or pots and pans. I have zero use for a $5,000 vacuum. And then that same individual who was excited about making part-time income becomes depressed. This doesn't work. Yes, it does work. But it works for the high-level, great salespeople. And that's the industry of the dinosaur, where only the top-level salespeople survive. Why? Because they're very good at selling very high-ticket items. But let's move over to the modern era of opportunity. The modern era of opportunity is where you can make money when your customers save money, using advanced tools and leadership that's already in place. Why? There are things that exist today that didn't even exist 10 years ago that allow us to have access to each other on a global scale. By the click of the button, we are all connected to each other, but none of these companies have financially incentivized you until now. So who you're looking at right now, this is what I call our global team of executives, our dream team, if you will. You are looking at a collective and combined over 200 years of global expansion, billion-dollar individuals in their own right. Now, listen, I don't have time to talk about every single one of them, but there's one person I do have time to talk about. You can go look up everybody's story on iBuumerang.com, but I want to talk about this guy in the gold shirt, in the blue pants. His name is Mr. Holton Buggs. Mr. Holton Buggs is the chairman and CEO of iBuumerang, but I want you to understand his story of how he got to where he is. In 1990, a college student joined the home-based business arena, and he was that guy that said, Mom, Dad, brother, sister, family members, I've got some toothpaste that's going to save your life. I've got some potions and pills and vitamins. You no longer have to use the detergent that's going to poison your bodies. I'm going to save you. And this naive teenager who is super excited about starting a home-based business, 7 years, he still didn't give up. He got to the point where he would experience $500 months every now and then. And I wouldn't call that successful, but I wouldn't call it a failure either because he didn't give up. In 1997, Mr. Holton Buggs developed a formula and a system to achieve rapid success. In 2009, I'm slowing down on purpose. I don't want you to miss this. I'm about to share something with you that is historical even to this day. This man joined a coffee company that sold coffee and nutritional products around the coffee industry. He built a global distribution team of over 1 million customers and distributors in a 10-year period, where he helped develop over 45 people like you and me to make over $1 million within that 10-year period. But here's where history was made. What I'm about to share with you, nobody alive can say they've done this. Nobody dead can say they have done this. In 1 decade, from the time he joined that coffee company to the time he walked away 10 years later, that guy made over $100 million in field commissions. You will never, ever meet anybody alive that said they did that. This is my industry. I know it like the back of my hands. That guy is a walking, living legend. March 2019, he walks away from the coffee company to start his own company called iBuumerang. Now, we are being led by a legend. And you would think to yourself, a company that launched in 2019 March, that means they really only had less than 9 months to participate in the year 2019 and compete against the other companies. And we did extremely well. Not just extremely well, we blew the doors off our first 9 months. There's a third-party research company called businessforhome.org that's out of Europe. This company is responsible for pretty much being the highest level of authority that really governs the home-based business arena on a global scale. They are the foremost leading research company on the planet right now in our industry. This company tells the good, the bad, and the ugly. They dropped an article on us like they normally do on all companies if they're doing something good or great or bad. And the article dropped early 2020. We were a little bit nervous, but we were pretty confident it was going to be something positive because everything about us in 2019 was absolutely positive. And the article read this: iBuumerang was the fastest growing home-based business opportunity in the world in 2019. Now let's rewind. We only had 9 months to participate. There's not one company in the world that grew faster than us in 2019, the year we launched. Now I'm talking about companies that have already existed for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We outgrew them all in terms of percentage of numbers and growth. That's historical. There's only one reason that happened, and one reason only. You're looking at him, Mr. Holton Buggs. He is a living legend in our industry, and now he owns his own company. That, my friends, is why we have the boomerang effect. Now, I want to pass this back to my partner, my co-star of the evening, Miss Tarah Davies. And Tarah, I want you to come in and take us to your slides, and I'll come back in just a second, but I'm super excited to turn this over to you. If you can share your screen and pick up where I'm leaving off. Tarah is a dynamic individual that we have done a lot of business together on a global scale. As a matter of fact, we have traveled the world together. This young lady comes from a background of, I believe, I want to say government employee, but she definitely worked for the government. And she was pretty faithful to that industry, or pretty faithful to her career. And she advanced and she shines. And this lady shines in anything she puts her hands on. But she has never done anything like this before until we met. She is one of the new individuals that you would consider a new success story in the industry of home-based businesses. So Tarah, I'm turning it back over to you. You take it from here, and I'll be on standby. I look forward to watching you and participating as we move forward.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So first of all, I have to say again, I'm very honored to be here with you, Johnny. It means a lot. And just having you as my coach for so many years has been the biggest blessing in my life, you know. So let me get into it. I just want to introduce myself. So I am Tarah Davies. I am 34 years young, and I love to say young because the older we get, the better we get, assuming. I'm from New York City, born and raised, and growing up, I was taught many things. I was taught to go to school, to get good grades, and to get a really good job. And I listened. I ended up attending John Jay College in the city of New York, and it was there that I obtained both my bachelor and my master's degree. I also graduated magna cum laude, which means I graduated with accolades. I maintained well over a 3.5 GPA throughout my duration of schooling. And unfortunately, by the time I graduated with so much debt. It was close to $70,000 to be exact, but I became very overqualified. So at one point, I didn't have experience and I was not qualified through education. After 10 years of working for the city with a master's and accolades, I was very overqualified. And I can tell you this, the industry of network marketing was not in my realm. It was not something that I even considered or thought about. What ended up happening is life had a way of humbling me. The truth is, if I had, gone on to get that six-figure income job with the corner office, I probably wouldn't be here today. But I am so grateful that life humbled me and I was forced to become open-minded. I was forced to start thinking outside the box. And thankfully, I was led to the industry of network marketing and direct sales. So with that being said, I've been a part of the industry now for almost 8 years. I have been able to travel the world to over 150 destinations within that time, was able to build organizations of thousands, was able to help a lot of people in the process, and I'm very grateful. I'm going to get right into it because we have Friday night things to do, right? So let me just tell you this. When it comes to our leadership team, before I move on, I just want to say that I have been watching our CEO, Mr. Holton Buggs, and his amazing bride, his beautiful wife, Erling Buggs. I've been watching them for quite some time. Have you ever been on social media or just knew of someone and you admired them from afar? And maybe there was nothing that pretty much connected you or correlated you, but if the opportunity arose, you would step up and you would maybe want to be in business with that person. You would maybe want a formal introduction to that person. I want you to understand that I was in the industry for 7 years in a different opportunity. And when this company launched, there was not even a question for me to move over here because I wanted to be under the right leadership. So here's what happened with our boomerang, okay? Our team wanted to be able to make the future of business easier. And so by doing so, we said, what could we create? What could we come up with? And so we created something called the PRIB. Now, PRIB just means Perpetual Residual Income Builder. It is our version of artificial intelligence. Have you ever had a conversation with someone? Have you ever, shopped online, and all of a sudden you go on your social media feed and exactly what you were talking about is being advertised to you, or you see your entire shopping cart on your Instagram in an ad. And what's happening is that you're getting retargeted. How is that able to happen? Well, it's because everything has changed with marketing. Okay, companies are paying millions of dollars for our thoughts because it's easier to sell us what we want versus what they think we want. When we decided to create this PRIB, we wanted to have the same effect in our own company. So we said this PRIB would be the thing that would be able to, upsell our customers or tell our customers when there's something new. It would be how we would get people to events, and it would basically be our follow-up system. Here's why. In a traditional business, you normally would work awake to faint. Okay, if you own a traditional business, it's a beautiful thing, but we can all agree that it can be very exhausting because you are the accountant, you are the janitor, you are customer support, you are the marketing team, you are everything. In a traditional direct sales business, you would have the training and let's say the events covered. In a franchise, somebody else's idea is already all over it, so you don't have to do as much. But with the PRIB, to me, it's like having my best friend in my back pocket at all times. I need someone that has my back in business. When I get a customer, I don't want to have to be the person to upsell them. So we decided that through our PRIB, which is technology, because iBuumerang is a technology company, we had to launch. And we wanted to launch something that would be universal, something that would be eclectic, something that would be for men, for women, for young, for older, something that everybody could love. What's the one thing that people normally would do if they had the ability to? We figured it was travel. Now, great thing, within our first 12 months, of doing business with our iGo platform, we were able to accumulate over 500,000 customers. Now, I need you to understand that a customer is someone that wants to do business with you. You don't force a customer to do business with you. They have to willingly say, I want to serve your business or be a part or patronize your business. How could a company get 500,000 people in its first year to want to do business with them when some companies have been around for decades and they've never had that many people walk through their door? I'll tell you in a second, but just understand that we chose travel because travel is an $8 trillion industry. See, Asia's doing about $6 billion a day in travel, the US over $2.8 billion in travel. And what many people do not know is that when it comes to the space of travel, online, it's monetized and ran by two major giants. Now, Booking Holdings and Expedia Group. Many people have resorted to online travel because we realize it's just the easier thing to do. Now, between them, they run about 45 different websites. And you probably didn't know that when you go online to book, you might think, man, there's so many people own online websites for travel, but there's two. So you're competing within each other, okay? Here's what happens. They offer you pricing, you take it, you travel. You probably thought it was the best deal that you could ever get because that's all you had access to. And it's always great to be open-minded to conversation and opportunity because tonight we'll be able to share with you how there's better access. And what happens is that we have the same inventory, but we decide to pass the savings on to our customers. So let me give you some examples of what this looks like. Now, remember, guys, I am a New York City girl, so it is only right that I share with you a hotel in my city. So we're looking to the left of the screen, 4.5 star on Expedia, $339 in New York City per night. Our engine, iGo, was able to find at the same time $178. This does not mean that every time you go on our platform, you will see a significant difference like that. It doesn't mean that every time you go on a platform will be the absolute lowest. It just means that we are competition for the industry. And if there's competition, you should always want to explore options like us. So what about another hotel? Look at the middle of the screen, $440 per night, as opposed to $130 per night. You see the difference? Now, if you had the ability to book and pay the lowest price in green, I am certain that you would be open to. You know why? In life, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. See, I know you guys are very wealthy. I know you could afford to pay no matter what the cost is, but for me, I want to save my money. Last but not least, look at this car rental. And so what happens is every time we go to book, we start to accumulate something called rewards credits, dollar for dollar. So not only am I saving by way of, not spending as much money, I'm also accumulating credits to use towards future travel. It's a win-win. Now, here's our theory. We offer champagne lifestyle on a beer budget. I don't know about you, but that's the way life should work for everyone. So 5-star access, but you're paying that 3-star pricing. So what do we have access to? Well, I spoke about hotels, car rentals. What about cruises? What about flights? Okay, weeks, homes, timeshares, other people's timeshares. I'm a firm believer that friends do not let friends get timeshares, not in 2020. We have access though for those people who have walked into those. And here is what I want to say to you. You know, as I get ready to pass the torch, as I get ready to, you know, throw this over back to my mentor. Okay, here's what I have to say to you. Do you boomerang? You see, the concept behind the name of our company is simple. If you think about a real life boomerang, when you throw out a boomerang, what happens? It comes right back to you. So we have the ability to throw savings out to you. And what happens is it comes right back to us. It goes out to you in savings. It comes back to us in commission. And this is the part where I'm going to bring back who I call my rich dad. And he is going to take it from here because he's way more qualified to start speaking to you about how you can potentially earn money through this home-based business. Johnny, are you ready?
I am ready. Tara, I am here. Can you hear me okay? I'm sorry, I muted my microphone, but I am ready to go. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for that incredible introduction. Hopefully that I am visible. For some reason, I can't see myself, but we'll just keep the ball rolling. If you can just let me know that everybody can see me and hear me fine.
I can see you, and unless, everybody can see you fine. Yep, you're good to go.
Nice. All right, let's rock and roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I know your time is valuable. Let's keep this party going. I appreciate you, Tara. Always an honor and a pleasure to share the stage with you. We've been all over the world together, and now we're socially together around the world. I believe, like Tara said, the entire world will ask this question one day. Do you boomerang? And the question is, why would they say that? Why would people find themselves saying, do you boomerang? Well, it's pretty simple. Why do you say, do you Google? Did you Google that? Are you really saying, did you Google that? Or are you really saying, did you search for that on the internet? There was a time when people made fun of the word Google. There was a time when people would say, y'all need to change your name. The word Google, we need something else that transcends and people can be familiar with. But what most people don't understand is now it's a household name. It was something that people made fun of, and today it's a household name. Now I want you to think as an entrepreneur. What if you could have invested in Google very early on before the entire world accepted it or appreciated it? Do you realize what you would be worth today? See, I believe everyone's going to say one day, did you boom that before you bought it? Did you check the PRIB? And that's who we are, and that's where we're headed. So with all that being said, we are moving into a higher level of verticals as we are growing in iBuumerang. The first vertical will always be the iGo platform. The iGo platform is a travel booking engine that we own. It is not a third-party relationship. Holton Buggs purchased a 19-year-old company. Now it's 20 years old. Why? Because he wanted to be able to do business in pretty much every major country in the world on day one. That's why we chose to lead with the travel space. Travel is the sexiest subject on the planet. People love to brag about travel. They love to brag about savings, and they love to post pictures when they're doing it. So that is going to be the front gate into the PRIB. We also have Vibe Rides. Holton Buggs purchased his own rideshare company. We'll talk about that in a minute. Bill Genius, a technology that's in place that helps you save money on your bills. Remember, when our customers are free customers, are happy and saving money, that's how you make money. And we also have Zents, which is a wearable technology of aromatherapy, which right now, non-biased, but Zents is my very favorite product to talk about for the last 45 days. It has changed my life. Now, what you're looking at right now is, this is our technology that's already in place, not coming soon. We talked about early on, and Tara covered this. When you throw a boomerang to one of your free customers, what happens? This is what happens. I don't understand anything that you're looking at right now because I'm not a technology person, but I know how to pick my phone up. And I know how to send a message. I know how to send somebody a text message. or to send somebody a code. And that's all we do to acquire free customers, family members and friends. It's free. But what happens is, I want to talk about the travel savings bonuses of what happens when you do get a customer to activate a boomerang. Now, remember, a boomerang is free to them. The technology is free to them, but it's massively like incentivizes you to get free customers inside your PRIB. Now, on this particular screen, I want you to look over to the orange where it says save 40%. Look right above that. It says ambassador platform. Why is that important? Well, as an ambassador of iBuumerang, Tarah is an ambassador of iBuumerang. I am an ambassador of iBuumerang. It basically means that we are entrepreneurs under the umbrella inside representing iBuumerang, which means we can make money. If you look over to the right side of that, it says save 20%. Look right above it. It says iGo customer platform. Customers cannot make money. They can save money. We can make money and save money. So as an ambassador, if you look at this trip that's right in front of you right now, 5-star hotel resort in Cancun. If you are an ambassador based on this particular booking, that person would save $424. As a free customer, it's $212. Now go over to the right side of the screen at the very bottom where it says 50% is paid to the referring ambassador as a direct travel savings bonus. Now look at the green circle. Let's say that those are customers of mine that I sent a code to and they book travel. Now remember, I don't sell them travel. I don't book the travel for them. I don't do anything. I just put them in the PRIB and the PRIB begins the relationship with my free customers.
Are you trying to find the best deals online when it comes to your travels? I know, it could be a nightmare. Let me save you some time and of course some money. I go for less. The one and only platform you need to go and find the best deals online, from flights, hotels, weeks, cruises, and more. This is a completely free travel booking platform where you can save up to 70% on your travels. Cool, here's what you've got to do. Step 1, go to bit.ly/travel savings code page. You'll find the link in the description below. Step 2, find and enter the code you see on the page to create your free account. Step 3, start saving, anytime, anywhere, when it is time for you to book your next trip. Pretty simple, right? And did I tell you it is free? And it's also forever to use and to keep. Again, go on bit.ly/travel savings code page, use the code you'll find on the page, and start enjoying your savings.
So let's say they find out about this last minute deal, they book it, they save $212. Are they excited? Of course they are. Because what about me? Look over to the boomerangs. It's going to this gentleman that's holding the phone. That gentleman, if those were his customers, would make $106 on that booking. He didn't book it. He didn't sell anything. He didn't call anybody, nothing. His free customers and everything that they do, he is financially incentivized as long as they're in the PRIB. Now, there's so many more ways to get paid, but I want to stay on the path right now of the iGo platform. Let's say this is you. You have 10 customers that are inside the PRIB. And let's just say a year goes by and all of these 10 customers save $300 a piece for the year on booking travel. Now, my first booking using the iGo platform, I saved $2,200 on a junior suite in Manhattan, $2,200 on a 4-night stay I saved. Now, let's just say that it's $300. I've never seen a $300 savings. I'm always over $1,000 so far, but I'm sure it exists. These individuals added up together is $3,000 in savings for the year. You, because they are your free customers, you're not talking to them, you don't sell them anything, nothing. You would make $1,500 based on this hypothetical example, and all you did was put a free customer inside the PRIB. Now I'm going to talk about business. If I were watching this presentation for the first time, I tend to do my best to think, what would a new person seeing this for the first time appreciate more than anything else when it comes to making a decision to join an iBuumerang? It's understanding the timing that's in your favor right now. Let me give you an example. Let's say this young lady joined earlier today at 10 a.m. when we did a presentation. And let's just say that she had prospects on every presentation we've done today. For every 2 hours, we did a presentation, and we're going to do another presentation exactly 1 hour and 20 minutes from right now. to help you start your business when you join us right now. Let's say that she has 5 people that are watching this presentation that she invited. And that's all she did. She invited, she's not doing any selling. She's not doing the presentation. We are doing all the work for her. And let's say 3 of those 5 individuals that are watching this presentation right now, they're interested in joining. Give me 1 second. They're interested in joining and they're ready to get started. So here's what I would say right now. If you're watching this presentation right now and you know for a fact you're interested, pick up your phone, text the person who invited you to this presentation, and let them know that you are ready to get started right now. You may say, Johnny, okay, what's the advantage of that? What's the advantage of being one of the first? Well, let's say she gets a text message from 3 people who said, I'm ready, I want to be first. What happens is, as you can see in the diagram, you don't have to understand this, but just go with me. She can only build 2 teams, a left team and a right team. That's why it's called a dual team bonus. Weekly commissions are paid every Monday on a dual team bonus. But remember, 3 people said that they were interested to her. So let's say she puts 1 ambassador on the left team and then she puts the other ambassador on the right team. What about the 3rd person? She can't start a 3rd team. The 3rd person who said, yes, I want to become an ambassador would have to go under her left leg or her right leg, which means that now her people that she brought in the business today are now financially incentivized on her efforts. What do I mean by that? In our compensation plan, you can actually make money from the people who are above you too. The person who invited you here, they'll explain that to you. And here's the crazy thing. The computer does all the work for you, even if you don't understand it. So when I joined iBuumerang last year, the first person I put on my left team and the first person I put on my right team are still the first people. I cannot move them. I can't take them out. I have over 10,000 ambassadors in my organization in over 70 countries. Every one of those individuals went under my first 2 people. That's why you want to tell the person right now, if you're interested, save your spot and get involved. You'll be glad you did. Now, let's recap. Let's talk about the residual income. Let's say this is you. Follow the orange. Your ambassadors and your customers. Every time in the iGo platform, they book travel and they save money, cha-ching, you're financially incentivized. Every time one of your customers orders Zents, every time one of your ambassadors orders Zents, I've ordered over $1,000 worth of Zents, and I'm looking forward to getting mine in my hand so I can start giving them out as samples so I can lock in my customer database for the year 2021. Why? Because we have the exclusive rights to it. Nobody in the world can sell Zents unless you go through an iBuumerang ambassador. So I'm going to lock down my territory by giving out samples during the month of November, giving out samples during the month of December, and preparing for auto ship with all my new customers as we move into 2021. But you also have Vibe Rides. You know what's crazy about Vibe Rides is I'm actually a Vibe driver. I'm a certified Vibe driver. I went through the process. So hold on, Johnny. Tarah said you're a multi-millionaire and you speak on stages around the world. You're a #1 best-selling author. Why would you want to be a driver? Because I think like an entrepreneur. I don't think like a normal person. I think like an entrepreneur. I want to have thousands of drivers on the road around the world in the next 3 to 5 years. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, when drivers are picking up customers, if they're my drivers, I get paid. If they're my customers, I get paid. That's why I'm a driver, because I want to recruit other drivers. And you also have Bill Genius. Every single time one of my customers that are inside the PRIB in America download Bill Genius and they start saving money on their bills because Bill Genius negotiates the bills for them, I get paid for that too. See, the PRIB is doing all the work, and that's why you see the orange line going to the PRIB. Now follow the blue line. This is your team. This is your team's team. And your team's team. These are your customers. These are your driver's customers. This is everything going on in your organization goes into the PRIB, and that's why the green line is coming back to you with financial gain. Now listen up. Now that you know for a fact that you're ready to join iBuumerang, I want you to understand the ins and outs. You pay $100 a month to be an active ambassador in iBuumerang. Now remember, an ambassador is somebody who's an entrepreneur, which means we can make money in this opportunity. Your monthly overhead to run your business, your websites, your tracking systems, the PRIB, everything is $100 a month. I'm not kidding. I'm standing in front of you right now in my home in South Lake, Texas, and I'm making money in over 70 countries around the world. 0 employees. My overhead is $100 a month. You can't run a lemonade stand on the street that you live on for $100 a month without going out of business. And I'm making money in 70 countries around the world. So now that you know you want to be an ambassador, you choose the level. Do you want to be coach class, business class, or first class? I'm going to talk about first class because I think the other ones are self-explanatory if I explain first class. As a first class ambassador, it's $1,000 US to join us tonight. You have immediate access to everything in the iGo booking engine without limitations. You get 50 boomerangs instead of 25 or 10. Remember, the boomerangs are the only way that you can acquire free customers. So if I send a boomerang to a customer and they activate it, they become my customer for life in iBuumerang. If I send on a boomerang and they don't activate it, I can call that boomerang back and put it back into my inventory. I have over 700 boomerangs right now in my inventory. Why? I told you I'm different. I'm an entrepreneur. The name of my book is Building a Millionaire Mindset. I think like a millionaire. So I'm all in on a whole different level, but you don't have to do that. That's just what I do. You get 100% of your dual team compensation plan bonuses instead of 50% at coach class. You get up to 20% of your commissions as well, based on the level that you choose to join, or 10 or up to 12. Obviously, up to 20 is a heck of a lot better. You get the PRIB, you get Vibe rides, and so forth and so on. We have bonuses that are in place for the month of October. We have less than 24 hours, or right at 26 hours, 28 hours left in this month. But you still will see people hitting these bonuses. Why? We're doing the work for you. There are people who joined on the last presentation that have new prospects on this presentation. And we're going to do another presentation. The final presentation for tonight will happen in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So for those of you who get involved, you can see there are bonuses that are on the table for you as you are getting involved. And listen, we're going to do the work for you. You bring people to the next presentation an hour and 15 minutes from now, and let us do the work for you to help you start your business. And not only start your business, tomorrow morning, on Saturday morning, we have Flight School. Flight School is how you get trained on the intricacies of iBuumerang. But you don't have to wait for that. You can start making money with us tonight and get trained tomorrow with your new team. We have everything in place. You're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. So I'm going to finish the exact same way that I started. iBuumerang cannot and will not make any guarantees about your ability to get results or earn money with our program, information, tools, or strategies. What you put into iBuumerang is what you're going to get out. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. If you treat it like a multi-million-dollar business, it'll pay you like a multi-million-dollar business. You get to choose the level that you want to play on. All I care about is you join the boom. The boom is real and it's working in a major way. Tarah, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You did an incredible job, Tarah. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be teamed up with you. God bless you. Right back at you. It takes 10 minutes to join iBuumerang. Get with the person who invited you. God bless you guys.
Looking to start a business from home? The business from home. We are the fastest growing home-based business company in the world that's helping ordinary people just like you and I to get out of debt, generate additional income streams in their life, and creating extraordinary success stories globally. We've got the right systems in place, world-class servant leadership, wealthy compensation plan, and the utmost support you need to start local and go global. To get started, simply text us on WhatsApp, #ReadyToBoom on +356 9946 3303. Again, text #ReadyToBoom on WhatsApp on the number +356 9946 3303 right now. Let's get ready to boom.